It's Enigma Hood. There's this idiot on one of the videos on YouTube who keeps insisting that God is a theory or faith is a working theory. Let me read it. It's some, I don't even want to say her name. She's just being a moron. Okay. Seeing as the most accredited scientific proof began with a theory, is it so hard to think of faith as a working theory? Well, here's the problem. Faith is not a working theory, because whenever you're doing supernatural shit, you are leaving science and you're going to religion. Because faith means you're taking something as fact without any evidence. Now, what she's really trying to insinuate is that God is a theory. And that is never correct. God is not a theory, He's not a hypothesis, He's nothing. Because God cannot be tested. He can never be tested, therefore you can never falsify Him, and you can never draw conclusions from Him. Furthermore, there is nothing in the universe that you can't explain by just saying God did it. Because by definition, God can do anything. He can do whatever the fuck He wants. So, whenever you invoke the supernatural, you have left science and now you're doing religion. Now, the other really fucking annoying thing that a lot of creationists or religious people in general do is they don't seem to understand what the fuck a theory is. A theory, a scientific theory, is a conclusion, and it's an explanation of scientific phenomena, observed scientific phenomena. It's a conclusion. It's not a guess, it's not speculation, it's a conclusion. And the word proof has no relevance in science. The word proof has no relevance in science, and let me explain that. Proof means you understand and you know all the rules involved in the system that you're working in. It is a word that is relevant in mathematics, because humans created mathematics. We know all the rules. We know all the rules because we created them. So therefore you can prove things in math. However, in science, we are dealing with the real world, and we don't know all the rules. The rules are unknown. We don't know all the mechanisms. Therefore, it's impossible to prove anything in science. The most we can do, the best we can ever do, is get as close as possible to the truth as we can. And we do that with supporting evidence. So you should really replace the word proof with evidence. It's a little bit longer. It's a little longer word, but you should get used to it, because then you're being more accurate when you're saying this theory has supporting evidence rather than saying this theory has been proven. It's just a technicality, but it's annoying when people say the word proof, because it demonstrates that they don't really understand science. Now, I explained all of these things to this person, but she kept on insisting that God is a theory, or her religious beliefs are a theory. Like, for example, she says, you have to prove a theory before it could become an accepted fact. This is after I explained everything about what a theory was and how proof is not relevant in science. Then she goes on to say, a scientist, mathematician, sociologist, anthropologist can have a working theory with very little substantiated proof. It is up to them to prove the theory with work and examination. Spiritual beliefs do exist, we have proof of this. What they represent, however, is only theory. Whether these theories will be proven through substantiated fact, e.g. Armageddon, which means, for example, has yet to prove itself. There's so much wrong with that post that it infuriated me, because this was after I explained to her what a theory was. Spiritual beliefs do exist, yeah. Well, I guess they do, because you believe in them. But we have no proof that the beliefs are true. We have no evidence of that either. And she keeps on misusing what a theory is. She has a misconception of what a theory is. And it just infuriates me when people do this. So that's why I want to kind of just set the record straight. If you're going to keep saying, if you're going to keep talking about science, at least be somewhat scientifically literate. so that you know the underlying concepts. The final thing I want to mention is that a YouTube user made an excellent video asking Christians some legitimate questions. In particular, educated Christians. People who are doctors, scientists, who are outside of biology, I'm assuming. Lawyers, people like that. People who have college educations but are Christian. And he asked a series of questions which are supposed to make them think critically. Because they are thinking critically in college, they are thinking critically in their jobs. However, when it comes to something that matters a lot, perhaps maybe a lot more, they are not thinking critically when it comes to life, when it comes to basic concepts like, does God exist? And the critical, logical answer is that there is no scientific evidence to support the existence of God. Therefore, there is no really good reason to believe in it. And it is ridiculous how people somehow rationalize God as a not only omnipotent being, but as a benevolent being, when there is ridiculous amounts of suffering going on in the world. And the only time they even question God is when something bad happens to them. They're not smart enough to ever really ponder the question unless they experience something negative firsthand. But yet it doesn't take a lot of intelligence to know that negative things happen to many people all around the world. Why does it take something that happens to you specifically in order for you to question your beliefs? Are you that unintelligent to do so? Now, everyone that knows me has seen my channel and seen my profile, and they know my stance on people that believe in God, and I have different categories for them. When I'm talking about intellectuals who still believe in God, I don't really have that much respect for people like that, because they are intellectuals. They are intelligent people who are doing a stupid thing. I believe if you believe in God, and you are an intellectual, smart person, you are doing a stupid thing, because you should know better. You are supposed to be a rational-minded person, and you're not being a rational-minded person in this particular instance. So that's all I wanted to say. I know I haven't been making too many videos recently, but I've been playing video games. I mean, I got a lot of free time now. But I'll try to make a little bit more in the coming future about various topics. Talk to you then.